Well, I've just arrived here at Birmingham at the International Convention Centre where the conference is being held. I've got my accreditation and I'm about to go in and start participating along with 2,000 other delegates to this conference and what I hope is going to be a very exciting launch for our election campaign. Liberal Democrats aren't usually in favour of banning things, but we make some exceptions, like no hot drinks in the hall. This is the entrance to the main conference chamber, and what happens in here is that anybody who is elected by their local party to come and be a conference delegate can come in. They get a badge like this one, which has voting on it, and everybody who is a delegate from the local party gets to vote on all the conference resolutions. That's how we make policy. We are the only British political party that actually makes policy in this democratic way. People can put up amendments can be carried against a particular motion, and the debate is held out there openly by all the party members. And that's the way we like it.
I call Chris Huhne, our Shadow Home Secretary.
Well, thank you, Chris, and I'm delighted that time has been found to debate this really crucial subject. There's a growing body of evidence that imprisoning these children is damaging their young bodies and their minds. Medical experts, children's organisations and refugee groups are united in their condemnation. If there are concerns about absconding, this motion offers more civilised alternatives to the detention of families. Electronic tagging of adults, restrictions on where they can live, detailed reporting requirements. That's motion.
Thank you very much. And those against? It's pretty conclusive. Motion is passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I've got a very simple message, which is that we in the Liberal Democrats were right about the financial crisis. We warned of the dangers, we led the debate when the crisis came, and now we have a clear vision for the future of the British economy. The Queen, you may remember, is said to have asked why nobody warned about the crisis in the banking system. Well, actually, we did. The government's economic record, I think, speaks for itself. Remember all those phrases of no more boom and bust and prudence and golden rules, all abandoned. And now, standing amid the wreckage of the economy, Gordon Brown seems more and more like Mr. Ashley Cole, saying, no, give me another chance.
You've joined. Edward and I were both members of the European Parliament together, and Edward has announced at conference that he is joining the Liberal Democrats. What took you so long? You're a natural Lib Dem.
Well, most of my family is Liberal, and so I'm now joining the Liberal family. It's not a difficult jump, Chris. You and I have known each other for years, I've known Nick for years, and I like and respect and admire what you've done, you guys, in the Liberal Party, and it's a party which is not nationalist, it's internationalist, it's about reform, it's about fairness, it's about change, and I've long been an advocate of electoral reform in the UK, and so there are lots of areas of common ground, but especially on the areas of interest to me, democracy and human rights. Really good people working on that. Ming Campbell, Ed Davey, Helen and William Wallace, Shirley Williams. These are all real experts.
So tell us, I'm here with PC Cooper, who's one of the officers on duty making sure that the conference goes off smoothly. PC Cooper, I hope the Lib Dems are being well behaved.
Certainly well behaved.
And not anticipating any trouble.
None at all.
But not leaving anything to chance. Quite right too.
Just in case. I'm the youth councillor for Wolverhampton.
You're a youth councillor from
And
Wolverhampton.
I'm a youth member of Parliament.
You're a youth member of Parliament from Wolverhampton, and the good news is I think we found here the two youngest delegates from the local party.
Including you, of course.
Well, that's very kind of you to say so. I think maybe your eyesight needs testing, if that's right. But it's very kind of you to say so. What's your impression? Is this the first conference you've been at?
No, I've been to a couple before, and I think it's really good. I think the inspiring speeches from Vince Cable, from Nick Clegg, I think it really inspires you to get that focus out, really.
Great.
You know, on Monday evening I'll get back from school and do some music.
Fantastic. Well, really good to
This is
see.
my first.
This is your
I'm
first.
impressed.
What's your impression?
I'm impressed. I mean, Vince Cable and his economic policy. I just think, well, why isn't no one else doing this? You know, it seems a good common sense way.
It's
of
great.
doing it. And I'm just impressed.
So you've been inspired, and you're going to go and help
Yeah, I'm going
win the
to.
election back home.
Yeah, I am actually. I'm just going to go out and deliver leaflets, give a couple of Saturdays, maybe even a Sunday.
Fantastic. Well, welcome to conference, and
Thank you very much.
good to see you again.
Yeah, thank
Great.
you.
If I may introduce Phil Willis, who's a young man who has unfortunately decided that he's going to go on and do better things in life because he's retiring from Parliament after
13 years in Parliament.
13 years as the very distinguished member for Harrogate. But Phil, you've been coming to conference for a very long time, if I may say so. We both have. What do you think, if you were trying to explain what goes on here and what it's like to members who've not yet come, how would you describe it?
Well, I think what the most fundamental thing about conference, and this has become more important as I've got more mature, is the interchange of ideas. It's the actual meeting of people, and whether it's in this conference, whether it's in the science community, the arts community, it's actually people that make the difference. And people of like minds with similar sort of philosophies coming together to discuss big issues is what this conference is about.
Absolutely. And are you going to go on coming to conference despite the fact you're standing down?
Well, of course I am. You know, I mean, I've made the appeal now part of my duty. But I mean, I enjoy coming and meeting people, and I think it is important that you have a whole range of people, from so many young delegates that we're seeing at our conferences now, many more than there were 12 or 15 years ago, really, to people who've got, if you like, a lot of history within the party, but who are not always sort of in tune with the leadership.
I'm just about to go into the exhibition area. The exhibition area of conference is where anybody who wants to try and get across a message to the delegates who are coming here, often very influential people running their local authorities, as well as, of course, the ordinary party members who've been sent here, they can see what is on offer. Sometimes it's services, sometimes it's internal party organisations that are trying to make a particular point. For example, ALTA is one of the things that I'm president of, which is the Land Value Taxation Campaign, and we'll be going into the conference exhibition area and just having a look for ourselves at the sort of different views and organisations that are actually on offer. Come on in. So let's ask you, what's your impression of your first conference?
I really enjoyed the fringes. I went to the Electoral Reform Society one, packed, absolutely packed, standing room, well, for me only. I really enjoyed the debates. It was good to hear the Q&A, and the exhibition hall is really, it's really full. And
So you'd recommend it?
Yeah, definitely.
And you're coming back again?
Exactly.
What more can one say? Thank you very much indeed. Good to see you.
Chris. Good to see you.
Take care. Thanks, Chris. Great.
Do with this conference. Yes, you must have paid it.
I can't do every single conference.
I'm sure you walk around laden with cash, so you can easily plus size.
25. Okay. I'm paying my subscription.
That one will be in the post too.
I'm paying my subscription for Liberator, and I want to just tell we're doing a documentary for the party website for members who haven't yet come to conference. And this
You can be seen holding the subversive slogan.
Liberator, what is this? New Lib Dem slogan shop. Liberator is every party needs a ginger group. Is it fair to call Liberator a ginger group? You have ginger hair. It's not compulsory to have ginger hair to be a member of the Liberator collective, but it probably helps. And Liberator is, if you like, our own little grit in the oyster. It's the organisation that tries to keep us all on our toes, and for parliamentarians it's absolutely compulsory reading. Well, in the exhibition area we have, as you can see, a number of organisations that are actively involved in the party, but there are also it's possible for any commercial organisations, government organisations to come along as well if they're trying to bend the ear of MPs and councillors and all the other delegates who come here. And so I'm here on the, is it IAGA or EGA?
EGA.
I'm on the EGA stand, which is about sustainable living and encouraging people to be more energy efficient.
More energy efficient.
Why are you here? What are you hoping to get out of being at conference?
Well, we're delivering the government Warm Front scheme. So what we're trying to do is promote the Warm Front scheme to yourselves and your delegates, make them more aware about energy efficiency, because it's very important that more people become more energy efficient in the home. We're just trying to get that message across that whichever way you come at it, whether it's a fuel poverty angle or a climate change angle, it's important to make those measures.
I promised Zoe, who works for me part-time in my Westminster office, that I'd pop by, because the other bit of Zoe's job is that she supports the Liberal Democrat Christian Forum. How's it going, Zoe?
It's going well, thank you. Yeah, it's been busy.
And what does the Liberal Democrat Christian Forum hope to do? What are the objectives?
Twofold, really. One is to connect people who are Christians and Lib Dems, sense of community, and then the other is to support the party. So we've done these for PPCs, like briefings for the Christian vote.
Show the camera.
There we go. And then also we've put these into packs for Husting's event with sort of 3 top reasons why Christians might vote Lib Dem. Yeah.
Great.
So they've been going at a hot pace, really.
Good. Good luck. Well, the key thing, motivating activists, when you're there to open the fridge, make sure the chilled beer's inside. I have a very similar experience to Sarah in terms of enthusiasm for our cause that I think I see not just in my own constituency, but really across the country at seats that I've been visiting recently. I think the party's an extremely good heart. I think that we know we've got some very good messages to sell, and that we can go into this election and really make gain. Here we are at one of the most important conference events, which you won't find in the conference calendar at all, but it is called Catching Up with Old Friends at the Conference Bar. And there is a rumour that there's actually a prize given to the person who can keep the barman up latest at night. I have to say I've never been around to see if anybody's won that, but I thought you might like to meet some of the people who are here and at the very least find out whether the temperance tradition in the Liberal Democrats is still alive and well. And we're here in the bar, and here's a parliamentary candidate acutely aware of the temperance traditions of our party, who has just hidden his drink. Now, what was the drink that you were just hiding?
I'm afraid it was, no, it was a gin and tonic.
A gin and tonic, well, there we are. Will you be telling the good people of Blaydon that you've been drinking gins and tonics late at night in the conference bar?
Well, I think I've got to come clean, haven't I? You know, I think it'll be in the next newsletter, or maybe not, but no.
So tell me, what do you find, I mean, here you are in the conference bar, how important is the conference bar to the proceedings at conference as a whole?
Well, it's where you get to meet people, such as yourself, where you get to raise issues. It's not just about drinking and having good fun, although that's obviously a key part of it. We're like a family in the Lib Dems. We argue together, we discuss things together. We're probably the only party in the country, you know, who has this genuine debate. And I think one thing that people won't realise from outside the Lib Dems is actually you do have access to all kinds of people in the party. You know, you can actually, a conference is wonderful. You can just go and just have a chat, such as we're doing today. You know, so it is a good thing, and this bar is a key part of the socialising.
It certainly is. I mean, what a grand name on it. It's networking, really. Isn't it? But that's the jargon. Tell me, what's brought you to the conference bar at this time of night?
It's my first time, and I wanted to get to know all the Lib Dems, and I wanted to get to know the leader, Nick Clegg, as well, see what he's like, and network.
And what's your impression so far? Are you enjoying yourself?
Definitely, I'm enjoying. I'm very much impressed.
And Fiona here is the leader of our MEPs in the European Parliament, and will be able to tell us all of the hot news, not least how did we manage to snaffle Edward Macmillan Scott from the Tories with perfect timing just before a general election?
Well, a bit of hard work from one or two people who knew him very well. And I think it's a bit like the Winchester 2 in the Winchester by-election. Everybody wants to have their claim as being the one who persuaded him to come and join us. So it's a toss-up between Graham, who knew him a long time, and Liz, who used to meet him on the plane every week. But the good news is we're all very pleased to have him because he has an impeccable record on human rights, and I think that means that he's spot on. And I believe every word he says, that it's not him who's changed, it's the Tory party which has abandoned its principles.
And Fiona, tell me, because we're doing this for members who have not necessarily ever been to conference, and it's going to go on the party website, what is it that you think that members who haven't been to conference would most benefit from knowing about what goes on here? What brings you to the conference bar at the end of the first day?
It's the chance for me to actually meet and chat with people. You know, I've done speeches and I've had work to do, and now it's a chance to just relax amongst friends. And I'm meeting people who come from the region, but because we're all busy working and campaigning, especially at the moment, we don't catch up. So really, it's a chance to catch up with friends. It's as simple as that.
Very good. Thanks very much. And here is someone I'd very much like you to meet, who's Mark Thompson, who writes the Mark Reckons blog, which is one of the Lib Dem blogs that's very closely followed, and there are a lot of Lib Dem blogs on the internet. And I'm particularly keen on Mark's blog because one of the things that he did recently was to work out that the MPs that were most involved in the expenses scandal happened to be the ones who had the safe seats. And if you have a job for life, it's human nature, you tend to dip your hands in the till. Now, Mark, what made you think of that as an idea to research?
Well, there was some discussion going on online on Lib Dem Voice and on some other blogs just about, you know, when the expenses scandal first broke, about what people thought about it. And I just had an inkling. I mean, I've always been a supporter of electoral reform anyway, and I was just wondering if there was maybe something in this safe seats thing, and I batted it around a little bit, but no one really had any idea of how to do it. And in the end, it was one Friday evening, I just thought, I'll just churn the data, I'll just literally take it and I'll see. And I split the data into quartiles, so I ordered all the MPs by the safety of the seats, from the safest to the least safe, split it into quartiles, and just put a 1 next to an MP if they'd been implicated at all in the scandal, and a 0 if they weren't. And I discovered that in the top quartile that there were 3 times as many MPs as there were in the bottom quartile. And this was when the scandal just was first breaking, and I think there were about 90 MPs involved. But my feeling was that, you know, that was probably the time to do it, because you know, at that point, you know, they'd kind of pulled out all the worst excesses, the most newsworthy ones.
It's a very good piece of work, and I think it really stands up what a lot of us always thought, and it really provides some good hard evidence for it. Marching on, a little to begin, the standard now is raised on high to face the battle din. And never cease from fighting till victory we will win, and the land is free for the people. This is one of the most iconic songs that is ever sung at Glee Club, because it was the great marching song and battle cry of the Liberals in the 19th century, who wanted to emancipate people from the landowners. And it's therefore a very important part of our party's history. And so, in a funny way, is Glee Club, because Glee Club happens every conference, and it's a chance for a knees up. I can't describe it in any other way. It's funny, it's a chance for everybody to join in, and as you can see, everybody has a very good time, usually after a few drinks, meeting a few old friends, and it so happens that the local MP, John Hemming for Birmingham Yardley, is the regular pianist at the Glee Club and accompanies anybody who's rash enough to want to sing along. So come and join in.
Bees will need not school us, Tory tricks, no more shall fool us, we learn away.
I should also explain that if you're like me, you never manage to remember the words of songs. Well, we have a solution to that. It's called the Liberator Songbook, and I have a copy here, and it's on sale at every Glee Club, and indeed beforehand, and it gives you all of the words for all of the key songs that you will expect to be in very good voice on at every Glee Club you visit.
This reform and liberation be our triune aspiration, till we win and for the
gathering right at the end of the conference for the leader's speech. There's a hushed silence in anticipation. We're all taking our seats. What is Nick going to say? This is the high point coming up. A couple of bits of party business, presentation of checks and things like that. A little appeal. Once we've got that out of the way,
Good morning.
Nick's on.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the leader of the Liberal Democrats, Nick Clegg.
Shall I tell you the one phrase that bothers me more than any other? It's this: that's just the way things are. No. The way things are is not the way they have to be. We do not have to live in a country where the poorest pay the biggest chunk of their income in tax. We do not have to live in a country where politics is the plaything of wealthy donors and corrupt MPs. We do not have to live in a country where the banks can profiteer at the expense of everybody else and our climate is in jeopardy. We do not have to live in a country where children's chances are determined more by their parents' background than by their own hopes and dreams. There is a better way. Only Liberal Democrats will get big money and corrupt donors out of politics altogether. Change the voting system to abolish safe seats and make every vote count. Reduce the number of MPs by 150. Reverse the tide of decades of centralisation. Devolve power over the police and NHS to local communities. Pass a freedom bill to protect our hard-won rights and liberties from the whims of government ministers and give constituents the right to sack corrupt MPs. That is change that works for you. Vote Lib Dem, get change. Vote Lib Dem, get fairness. A vote for the Liberal Democrats is not a vote for anyone else. It is your guarantee of real change that works for you. Vote for the Liberal Democrats is a commitment to hope, to opportunity. It's a vote that says, I want government to be honest and open. I want a green economy. I want fairer taxes. I want a fairer future for my children, for all of our children. Now, I know there are many people who listen to the Liberal Democrats and really like what they hear, but you worry that your vote would be wasted. You worry that your choice won't make enough of a difference. So you're thinking of giving your vote to someone else. Some people are thinking of holding their noses and voting for Brown just to keep out the Conservatives. I say to you, don't do it. Some people are thinking of holding their noses and voting for Cameron just to get rid of Labour. Don't do it. You have a once-in-a-generation opportunity for real change. A wasted vote is one that throws that opportunity away. A wasted vote is one for a party that is stuck in the past. A wasted vote is one for a party you don't believe in. How do you want to feel when you wake up on May the 7th and hear the news? Would you smile at the prospect of 5 more years of Gordon Brown? Would you be thrilled if a Conservative government was now in charge? If the answer is no, then don't give them your vote. If you vote for less, you'll get less. If you compromise on them, they will compromise on you. Just good enough is not good enough anymore. So when you think about who to vote for, remember that the future of your country is at stake. Whatever you do, don't settle for the way things are. Be demanding. Vote for what you believe in. Vote with your heart. If you once voted Labour but have lost hope, if you once voted Conservative but don't know what they stand for any longer, if you've given up voting altogether because nothing ever seems to change, vote for something different this time. Vote Lib Dem, get fairness. Vote Lib Dem, get change. Vote for what you believe in, or you will wake up on May the 7th, facing another 5 years of more of the same. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. For the sake of our future, do not waste it. Choose the Liberal Democrats.
We're on the home straight. What's happening now is that delegates have left the hall, I think, very inspired and uplifted by what was a tremendous speech. And I don't know how Nick did it, frankly, with a throat that he's got, but it had tremendous passion and verve, and I think will have sent all of the delegates away with a real spring in their step. And so what we're seeing here now is the clearing up process, the slightly sad end of conference in which we try and make sure that we leave the place as clean and tidy as it was when we arrived. But Birmingham has been a great venue. I think people have had a great time, and the party's in incredibly good heart, and we're all looking forward to that election, and I hope you are too. Thanks.